Good afternoon, Hattiesburg. Thanks for joining us for this COVID-19 City News Briefing for Tuesday, July 28th. We'll start with today's numbers in terms of hospitalizations. Today we hit a new high. 93 people are in the hospital right now between Merritt Health Wesley and Forest General with COVID-19. There are additional 12 who are under investigation. That 93 is about 13 over where we've been over the last 2 weeks. Of those 93, 36 are in the ICU. That's just over where we've been the last 14 days. Those are the most acute that require the most resources and manpower. This is how this has gone. And again, we keep having to add new lines to this graph with the 94 in hospitalizations. ICU down slightly from over the weekend. As I mentioned last night in my post, I was encouraged by that at first, and then received confirmation that several of those were due to people who had passed away. In terms of deaths right now, we've had 6 in the past 7 days. Forest County's had 4 since Friday, taking the Forest County total to 50 and the Lamar County to 10. Today we received our new positive cases. 36 people in Forest County whose test came back positive today. Lamar County 19, taking our metro area just for today to 55. Since March, Forest County's at 1464, Lamar County's at 991, which brings our metro area total to 2455. The 5-day average is where we look at the number of new positive cases on a given day. We average it to 2 days prior and 2 days after. Since early July, we've been kind of in some territory we probably don't need to be in. Lamar County back down, though, to mid-20s. Forest County still in the mid-30s over the last 5 days. The other number we look at is the number of positive tests that have come back in the past 14 days. Because this disease has a life cycle of 14 days or fewer, this inside 14-day number is a good indicator, a very rough estimate, though, of how many active cases you might have in your communities. Again, it's not 100% accurate, but this gives you an idea of how many active contagious people you could have at a given time. Right now, that number is at 393 for Forest County. It leaped ahead of Lamar County, which is at 379. This is the orange line is Lamar County, the blue line is Forest County, the gray line is the metro area combined. And as I mentioned in my post last night, the gray line is up to almost 800. A month ago, it was at 190, and so we need to be taking this very seriously, as that total has almost quadrupled in a month's time, because the more active cases we have out there, the more people who are getting infected, the more that it plays into our goals and plays against our goals, because we want to protect vulnerable populations, people over the age of 60, people with underlying or chronic health conditions. If those people get sick, they're more likely to end up in the hospital, which works against our second goal, which is preventing overrun of the healthcare system by slowing the spread. We know that both our hospitals are past their initial ICU capacity. They're now in their backup plans. We want to continue prioritizing public health so that the private sector can continue to operate. We're not meeting any of these real goals right now, and that's one thing that we need to be making good individual decisions because of these things. The 4 factors that guide us: widespread availability of testing. Of course, C.E. Roy, got a message last night, where can I get tested for free? C.E. Roy Community Center is open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 2. It's 300 East 5th Street. Of course, today we had our Lake Terrace Convention Center drive-through testing event that was sponsored by Forest County Emergency Management and Forest County. I want to thank Lake Terrace Convention Center and the Convention Commission for working with us on that, as well as UMMC and the Department of Health. Halfway through, it got rained out. We did test a little over 60 people right now. We're going to reschedule that again to make that resource available for folks on another day. We continue to push the wearing of masks, the watching our own data and state data, listening to all voices. Right now, today, Mississippi saw 1,342 new cases and 42 new deaths. In some non-COVID-related city news, you may have seen this over the weekend. We did receive confirmation from Moody's that we maintained our AA3 bond rating. I think this is a great reminder that in the midst of a pandemic, our city is still continuing to push forward with projects and to meet the needs and services that the citizens want and demand. But 3 years ago, we didn't have a bond rating at all, and we were, several years behind on audits. And in 3 years, we've completed 5 audits. We have had our bond rating restored in December, and then we had that bond rating affirmed by Moody's this time through at a time when nationally municipal bonds the outlook is negative, but they cited a lot of the tough decisions that the city has made, even in recent months, to make sure our finances are on solid footing. And so everyone should be proud of their city council, should be proud of all the people who played into making this happen. So we're excited about that. Our act of courage today, we have two things for you. First of all, Hattiesburg Clinic has been selected to participate in the Phase 3 clinical trials of Moderna. This is the RNA vaccine. The study's focusing on people who are high risk, again, those vulnerable populations. This enrollment will begin in early August. This will be by physician referral for typically, again, targeting those folks who are high risk. There will be some external applications opened up. There will be a website launched on the Hattiesburg Clinic website in the coming weeks for people to apply to be in that trial. We also want to thank everyone, not just from Hattiesburg, from the surrounding area, who participated in WDAM's Blood Bowl. And thanks to WDAM for having this again. It couldn't have been a more timely thing. And Laurel, of course, came out on top. Waynesboro right behind them. Of course, Hattiesburg finished 5th, but to be fair to Hattiesburg, we've had a blood drive usually every 2 weeks. And so I feel like our folks have stepped up as well. And I will say that we hope this is the last time that Laurel beats Hattiesburg this year, because we're all looking forward to the Little Brown Jug game. And finally, a request from me. I know many people in our city right now are people of faith. And most times, I, being overly sensitive to not appearing cliche, do not outwardly request prayer or invoke the name of God. However, I do ask for that today. Not for me, but for the many people in our community who are sick. We have many in our city workforce and many in our extended city family who are very ill right now. And in some cases, no one's really sure how it's going to go. And I know the multitude of family members and friends of those who are dealing with and fighting this disease, or who are carrying very heavy burdens and weighing very tough decisions, would appreciate you interceding on their behalf. We are not alone in this, but in a situation like a pandemic, we must recognize our own helpless estate and the fragile humanity we all share. So tonight, if you could say a prayer for the sick in our community, it would be appreciated. And as we go in to the next few days in the week, remember to wash your hands, take care of yourself, wear a mask if you go out in public, do only what is essential, and remember, you are safer at home. Courage.